wanafanyanga conversations za wenye wameshikwa. And then a certain man akiana adabu na siku ubaya. No, si nina ubaya.
Nina ubaya. Mbona sina ubaya?
Nilikuwa nadhani mtoto ako na miaka 10 kuendelea. Unalala aje na mtoto wa 6 years? Akaulizwa na uko na bibi wawili, unatafuta nini kwa mtoto?
Hata wa 10.
Yes. Hata watoto wa 6 months. Alafu mtu anasema ati niliona ako na haga 6 months.
Watu wanafaa
I think I've seen another one also where is it the lady who thought that the boy is old, so wenye alimtongoza akakubali and then later the parents wakamsue. So her justification is venye nilimwona venye nilimwona I thought he's a grown-up man. So I didn't bother to ask the age.
Hey, do people still ask people for IDs?
Unasema hivyo.
Ukipatana na mtu unamkatia.
My cousin alikuwa ameanza kukatia kasichana kingine. Alafu akamuitisha ID. Msichana anaenda kasa akaleta ID. ID kumbe inasema she's 21 years. So later on my dad akamwambia, alimwona akimwangalia, akamwambia chana na msichana ni mtoto wa shule. Kidogo. Sasa now he stopped talking to that girl. Kidogo si watoto amefungua shule, anamwona na uniform ya primary.
Uniform ya primary.
Alimwona na uniform bado kuna ningeingia kwa shida.
Si ati high school ni better but primary.
Okay, I don't know. Let me be the devil's advocate. Because sometimes you can go back to school when you're old.
You actually can. You can.
So being in uniform and you have of age, I don't think if it's a bad thing. The bad thing is if you genuinely and you know this is a kid is not in a position to
but
make
you know
that
that
informed
ignorance
decision.
is not a defense.
But now what happens, Nelson? Kama this person ni sawa you are of age, but sasa like bado niko shule. Okay,
Uko shule.
bado shule. Now what
But
happens?
sasa now
law ina protect
or attached to being in school or out of school. Because that would mean if she's at home, she's free to do it.
Kwa sababu niko nyumbani na niko 21 years. No, that's actually a question. I'm like, now does it protect me?
Because now if you're saying it's attached to being in school, then what if you are out of school?
Does that mean I can be able to?
Does that give
like
you a go ahead?
How do magistrates take that issue?
Right?
I am very interested now.
Kwa sababu kesi kama hiyo yako hiyo your cousin.
It's just tagged to age. For me, I think what matters now the age.
But you know the problem is
in a position to either one. Yes, in a position to consent. Not just consent, but informed consent. Anajua kitu anakubaliana nayo.
Okay.
Is this person in a position to say yes and even later say no?
Na what if alileta wrong ID? Sababu naweza chukua ID ya sister.
The same.
Si kuna watu wenye wamefungwa kwa sababu ya hiyo.
Sasa now utajitetea aje zamani?
Kwa sababu alipeana.
Sasa unaona hiyo it's a very bad predicament.
A fake ID.
But that one is kind of
hata hiyo ni
bora bado.
The ID you can't correlate this person and the one on the ID.
You know how people can be carbon copy of each other. So mtu anaweza fanana na sister yake baka udhani ni twins na ni sisters.
That's tricky.
Yeah.
But
so imagine that situation if he fell for that.
That's sad.
Now these are actually the gaps that we're talking about.
Those
are the gaps that
really needs to come out because now who is at fault?
Yes, who is at fault?
If you're the judge, who would you have to interrogate and understand where they were coming from? For you to have that fake ID, now ilete, to showcase that you are old. You are justifying I'm 21 years old. You can make you get.
Yeah, true.
So for me, I'll make a decision based on the evidence you've brought.
But
now, then it turns out it's not the factual thing. You need now, I don't know.
That's tricky.
That's
Yeah,
really
no, these are
tricky.
actually the gaps that we're actually talking about. But now, when we're talking about the gaps and like, what are some of the challenges that you're facing? The gaps and the challenges. What are some of the changes that you would like to see as a young person in terms of like easy policies in Yaziko? Maybe these are some of the changes that I would like to see as a young person.
Let me take you back to last year when we had the finance bill protest.
Why, Nelson? Why?
Please,
One time.
let me just take you back.
Yes.
You realize within that period, I think a period of 1 month, you saw how president was trying to make some pronouncements saying we'll do this, we'll do that. You know, that was based on this event has brought out some real life situations that needs very deep response and like strategic responses. So niseme wacha nipeleke cabinet nyumbani. You get? Wacha tuweke austerity measures. But what happened next? Akazitoa. When it gets to policies, if a policy is tagged or is attached to a lived reality, it's so easy to have a live document. That means if today you have a say an abortion case, and that policy helps to restore that the confidence either in the young person seeking the service or the healthcare provider. Tomorrow or next year, the same policy will be able to respond to the same issue brought by a young person, maybe by a different healthcare provider. But what we have is how do we call them? It's just a policy that is on paper, but it's not able to clear and support all young people across the country. You get? So you have a policy that goes with who will be able to implement. So if County A says we are going to pick this policy and implement, then it's probably few facilities that will be supported will help young people. You get? And then another place or another county without political goodwill, they'll not be able to implement that policy.
Or even CSOs.
What will happen? Or you wait to CSOs. If they are there to implement it, well and good, it will work. Yes, it will work. But when they are not there, everything goes to zero. You get? So all these conversations, when they are attached to a lived experience and lived realities of young people, it's so easy to have a live document that speaks to what will come from a young person in next year. Same time, same day, or maybe different day, but the same issue. If today I come for abortion service, you help me. You get? Next year, if another young person walks to a different facility, will the same policy support them? Or it's now left to the healthcare provider. You get? So if the policy have something on VCAT, you get? It will help the healthcare provider to know where the attitudes, the limits. Hapa ndo nitafikisha attitude yangu na I'm a Christian.
Ni values zimefika hapa.
So this is where my attitude, my religion, my everything about me ends. And this is where the service and the work that I do begins. And so you'll provide the service backed by what the policy is saying. But as at now, everyone is blocked. You get? For the healthcare provider, you want risk your 18 years of sweat and work and everything. It's very, very, very rare to get a healthcare provider who is able to risk that. You get? You've trained, say 8 years. You've been in work, say 10 years. That is 18 years. You want to risk that? Are you able to do that? You get? But again, what I think have also become as a challenge is engagement of young people. Some people say there are a lot of tokenism, there is a lot of manipulation, blah, blah, blah. But again, when you look at it, if you are a young person, a policy is being developed, say Mombasa, you get? You have to travel from, say, Isiolo to Mombasa. Say if you are picked to represent the voice of young people, you'll have to travel, right?
Lot of emphasis
You'll-
on
you-
picking. Lots of emphasis on you are picked.
You'll have to travel.
Yeah.
Sindio? You'll have to eat. Sindio? And you'll have to sleep somewhere.
Yes.
So where would you get this money? And is this what we call token?
Exposure.
Is this what we call token? So for me, I usually say when a young person incurs a cost to represent the voices of young people, I won't say if he's given a token. I'll not say it's like tokenism. It's just to really ensure you've enabled them to voice out without the pressure. Because economy is like spitting on everyone.
True.
So for you to just
especially
leave
in
your
such a city.
Yeah.
Mombasa is very costly.
Yes. It's across. Even if you say it was in Naivasha, it was in Migori,
Whichever
it
place.
was whichever place,
Economy now.
you'll be hit. You'll have to incur the cost of going there.
True.
And so if someone comes to cover it, that's not tokenism.
It's not.
Truth be told, that's not tokenism. It's ensuring that the voices of young people is heard.
So
It's within
what
the
does it
spaces.
mean to give healthcare officials DSA, but when it comes to a young person, it's being called tokenism?
That's the question. Probably it's
For young
because
people inakuwa tokenism.
But for them, it's DSA.
It's DSA.
Maybe this is someone who's on salary. So probably for a young person, ana
Even
ili
if they need
salary,
more.
yeye tu anatumia
Yeah.
passion yake na lived experience yake as an advocacy, as a tool to ensure that no other young person goes through probably the same thing or even whatever your friends are going through. Why do we have a lot of double standards
But I
again?
think it's taken
Umesema
because
hivyo.
you don't have a contract.
Yeah.
So if in your contract there's no mention of allowances and all blah blah blah. So the money you're getting is not defined.
Oh, it's not
So
defined.
someone will just, let me say it's tokenism, but ideally it's not.
It's not.
I think Marianne has mentioned something to do with exposure. Nikakumbuka there's this TikTok video I was watching. Anaitwa Shigwan ama anaitwa nani Shigwan. I don't know the name. Sasa alikuwa it was a script. So alikuwa anasema ati like sasa vile like ametoka mahali and then akakuja na paper bags kubwa zimejaa vitu ndani and then imeandikwa exposure. So mtu wa rent anakuja ana knock mlango anambia mzee umekam acha nikulipe sahi tu and then anatokea huko ndani na paper bag moja anambia shika hilo nililipo hata mimi penye nilikuwa. So that was really anaenda kwa mswa shopkeeper anambia nisaidie unga alafu anampe unga anambia ati na kwani hujalipa anambia acha nikulipe sahi tu anatoa bahasha imeandikwa exposure anampea. That was so funny because I think ilikuwa inaonyesha zile za like exposure, the way young people wanakuwa. Hata mimi nishaienda mahali tulienda mbali tuka travel alafu kurudi nimefika Kenya nilipewa pesa ngapi? Tulipewa tao 6 na tulikuwa 3 tukagawana tao 2 yote. In fact ilikuwa fair kunitoa JKIA hadi Mwehoko. So fair ikaisha, nafika kwetu anashangaa msichana
Umetupigia picha.
umetoka mbali
Washangaa
umetoka Senegal bwana.
Umepiga hadi ya kwaheri Kenya.
Kwaheri Kenya bwana. Passport iko na stamp lakini kwa mfuko bwana hata ukininamisha hivi hata shilingi siwezi angusha.
Most of what we have on the media, so many people translate it to what you have in your pocket. So if you have a photo, say you are with the Ministry of Health and you share a photo, man,
umeanza kukaa na wakubwa.
There's no way you'll convince us that
don't have
down.
money.
Yeah, true.
And then at the end of it someone will say
kumbe the reality of you huko kwa ground it's actually not.
it's different.
It's really different kwa ground. Lilian, what are some of the changes that you would like to see from where you sit as a healthcare provider?
Okay, some of the changes I would love to see is inclusion of the young people during policy making. And their decisions should be heard and implemented. That will help because watakuwa wanatuambia chenye kwa ground. To impose things on them. Inakuwa the other way.
Ni ile wanze na young people kutoka huko chini from the wanasimanga from what process to the hadi idealization implementation
MND. From design to MND.
Idealization towards implementation.
Yes, ikienda hivyo like just involving young people from across.
But I don't know. You know what happens most of the time? There's the aspect of I know what I want to hear. You get? So when I'm inviting Marianne to brainstorming workshop, I'm inviting Marianne because I know she'll say what I want to hear. You get? So Marianne will also come. I know what Nelson
Wants
to
me to hear. Wants me to say.
Yes.
Wants me to say.
And what he want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
So Marianne will come and say exactly that which anajua nikisema hii kwa hii meeting ya Nelson next meeting niko ndani
Imekosa kuitwa.
So those are the things that really kind of influence and impacts the kind of challenges we faced with policies. Because now Marianne is not able to bring exactly the picture kwa ground. Lazima utakani kama unai polish kiasi, you just polish, then you can share. Just to ensure that you are still able, because also everyone loves money.
Yeah.
When you have 2,000 shillings, someone doesn't have a 200 shillings. Should always want, like, let me get this 2,000 shillings. Hata kama ni 3 months, 4 months. It will help you somewhere. You get? So, and also it will help you with, say, partnerships and networking and blah, blah, blah. All that. But now this is still attached to what you will say. If you say otherwise, you are given that side eye.
Side
This
eye.
is what you can do in my meeting. Let me see you again in my meeting. You get? So that also brings the aspect
Now when
of
you say that,
you
for
want
me,
to open up.
I will just ensure I can ensure I get to see. Now Nelson is the one who speaks whatever this person says.
Yes.
Nelson will be my best friend.
Yes.
So I'll ask Nelson, how are you? What's the plan for you the week? I anipe itinerary. I am coming.
Yeah.
I am showing up. You don't invite me, I'm bringing my table.
Yeah.
Yes. But unfortunately for that, it never lasts for long.
True.
It never lasts for long. Because now, I don't know, because I usually ask myself, when we mention about triple threat, you have people surrounding you, you would want to get a child, maybe possibly if you want to get a child, you would want, okay, now let me just go back. There's a certain, I can't remember the story really well, but there's a certain man who held high powers, you know, then. And hakutengeneza barabara at all. Alitengeneza tu yake ya kwa nyumba. So si nini yake imeisha. Tenure yake imeisha. And then along the way, the wife got pregnant. Anafaa kupelekwa wapi?
Hospitali.
Kwa barabara alitengeneza.
Hakutengeneza.
Alafu the wife, mtu huyo alikufa kwa barabara. Yes. So whatever policies you are developing, please put at the back of your mind that your child will also require the same policy.
Yeah.
True.
There's a face to
Yes.
it.
Your niece, your nephew will still require that same kind of policy. Even for sure, tenure yako itaisha. You will still come and complain with us after 5 years. So whatever policy you're developing, please remove your religion, remove your cultural background, and just look at something that really reflects the reality.
The reality
and what
of
does young
people.
people, and even whatever worked 10 years back cannot work right now. I mean, the 15-year-old is 25 years now.
Yeah.
Or even the 10-year is 20 years now. And when the person is 10 years back then, a lot was not happening. We didn't have TikTok. We didn't have quite a lot then. So now that things are working this way, then is it just possible for you to just tailor-make things that are now according to the lived realities of young people at the moment? Because if you don't, your same child will go through the same broken system that you don't want to fix.
Exactly.
Yes.
But you know the problem that also we have, I think it's good you've mentioned about religion. I think most of us, we struggle so much with social acceptance. So you find I'm this kind of a pastor or someone with high ranking within the religious institutions.
Yes.
So I want that acceptance. What will I do? I'll try as much as possible that everything I do in the position I hold kind of align to what these people will accept. Such that Kenya as a country, right from the head of state to like almost everyone,
You've not said. I
we
have
are
not
too
heard you.
religious. We are too religious, but it goes to social acceptance.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, I want everyone to accept it.
Yeah.
So in a way, so many people would not get into questioning the Bible, ask questions about the Bible. So I'll rather align to those people, do whatever will align with them, rather than doing the due diligence of finding facts and doing things and implementing policies based on evidence, based on lived experiences, based on what I'm seeing. You get? So in my tenure, I'll ensure that everyone accepts my work.
Oh yeah.
So if the majority is religious, I'll tend to be religious. If majority
Now
loves
what are you
sports,
saying? 2022. Next one.
you see, that is what is happening even within these spaces.
That's
That's why having conversations around key issues that kinda go against Bible or
religion.
religious teachings, they kind of have a lot of backlash. And
Actually,
a
you've
lot
reminded me.
Yes.
We were doing an adaptive leadership training. You remember
Yes,
that
yes, I
discussion?
remember
And the
that
person
discussion.
said, a lot of time we somehow push our ideologies on them. How about them having a conversation to clearly understand both of us, we want to end triple threat.
Yes.
So do it your way,
And I do it
and
my
for
way.
and I do it my way for us to reach an intersection. Because if we fight, nani anaumia? It is us,
Yes.
young
Really?
people. So if now we want to end new HIV infection, we want to end teenage pregnancy and GBV in the country. Wewe au wenye unajua they're sexually active, give them that information. Kwa church, wenye wanaenda church na wameamua, najua kuna wenye wanaenda church and they're still sexually active.
Yes.
So the people who are going to church and they're sexually active, please warify tu kwangu.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're telling people about condom. But for me, I am free to do that. I am free to do a demonstration. I am free to hold your hand and take you to a facility to access service. Wewe when you wameamua kuabstain, mentor them into abstinence. But to see fight nianze kukuambia, unafaa kuongelelea about sexual reproductive health and rights, and you clearly know. Hata pastor ni ako kazi. That's employment.
Kila mtu ako kazi.
Atavutwa kazi.
But the challenge with that
Kata
is
unga.
now you put the burden on the young person, because the person will try as much as possible to ensure they make the young person to make decision based on what they are teaching them. So you are forced now to abstain, and then you can't open up when you are not able to abstain. You won't open up. You can.
Yeah.
So then you have the young person wenye may have sex, but what are they teaching? Abstinence. Will I open up?
No.
I'll rather die than open up.
Hey, please.
We
Because
see.
now that comes with the stigma. They won't let anyone know. If they know,
See, we see, Nelson, what happens in church young girls. Especially kama a young girl na weni ulikuwa kwa youth example. Ama weni a young girl tuko kanisa. See, we see ukiget pregnant, the way they call people out kwa kanisa. Yeah, that is what they do. That is stigma.
Usinikumbushe. A certain girl got pregnant and she got married. I don't know kama ako kwa hiyo marriage bado. She was young. Huyo madam alimuita hapo mbele ya watu, sawa, na ni during service with the teenagers. Mbia usiendelee kufanya hizo vitu zenye ulifanya, sijui nini. And then niko like, unaambia je mtu mwenye ameolewa si have sex? She's married.
Okay, it's not even making sense.
It doesn't make sense. She already has a kid. So the best you can do is to support her, even give her parenting conversation.
Exactly.
Even having an open conversation for her to tell you, but then my baby is behaving like this. Because when you're a young girl, even a first time mom, whether you're 28-year-old, 30, and you're first, even if it's 14, everyone, we don't have a manual or even a script for parenting. So the best thing you can do is to just support this girl. But what do churches do? They will shame you.
Yeah,
You will
they
not
will
even
actually
step
shame
up.
you.
Actually, a lot in our church hawakuji. Wanapata mimba wanaenda. Unapatana nao kwa barabara na mtoto. Because they don't feel like they are needed over there. There's a time a while back, nimekaa nikona wamekaa nyuma. Almost wote wamekaa nyuma. So nikajambia acha tu niende, I just hold the baby so that now they can feel like they are part of the service. So that it's not ati hao wenye wamepata watoto wacha wakae nyuma. So wakikaa nyuma, so wamekaribia mlango. Next Sunday atakuja. They don't come, they never came anymore. But because there is no support system over there, there is no support system at all to tell you what exactly is happening. And even there was a time utaniambia, hey, unajua nani na nani wameprocure abortion? Niko like, unajua for a woman, you can know, of course anaweza kuambia kama ameprocure abortion, but for a man utaijua kama aliruka mimba ama hakuruka. Na also you're probably, hata maybe nikiwa hapa, wewe utakaa hapo ufikiria about your children. But mwanaume, atafika tu jioni. But now, what I'm trying to say is, even issue of virginity. Ni nani anafaa kuwa virgin? It's me.
Sasa kuna mwingine hata nimeona akisema ati the daughter, I think it was a partial headline or something. Like it was more of a, ama nimeiona wapi, I don't know, but nikisoma ilikuwa inasema ati sasa now this mama is happy, I think it's the mother-in-law, she's happy now that the daughter is getting married to a virgin guy. Sasa I'm like, sasa how does this ini headline aje kweli tuanzie hapo, like sasa hata niko okay, sasa like I think too the woman was saying, like I think she's just happy that the daughter is getting married to a virgin. And I'm like,
the daughter, the man is a virgin.
The man now is the virgin. So I think it's more of a celebration because now the man is a virgin.
Alieka till marriage.
Like
it must be nice.
The purity.
Yes, but
It's
never been touched.
Na maybe alijishika.
You can't tell.
True.
You can't tell.
Yo ile ni sawa ujaguzwa lakini umejiguza sana. Okay.
DJ.
We listen to don't judge.
But out here,
DJ.
You're saying we listen, we don't judge.
We don't judge. We judge.
People listen and they judge.
Because wewe nikakumbuka ilikuwa mimi nasema wacha ume DJ sana. Utajimaliza. That was a good one. Now because we're talking about young people and you know the way we also want to provide support for other young peers, how are we and our peers providing solutions in terms of the gaps that we are seeing in the policies?
Providing solution to our fellow peers.
No, even just as young people, like the solutions that we are providing sisi wenyewe as young people and you know the rest of the peers around us, like the solutions that we're coming up with because of these policies.
Let me tell you, I usually get a lot of phone calls from the young people we engage. So if they hear anything or one of them have an issue, any school fee, Nelson sasa, ni mimba ndo hiyo imepatikana, Nelson sasa. So you know, it rolls back to you when you have access to these spaces. You build networks. So it's through the network you are able to link up young people. So you'd find a young person would easily open up to me and not to a healthcare provider.
For sure.
Because they feel this person probably will not want any issue around sex, around what I'm facing out of the sex.
You're looking at maybe not Lillian, another person, ananikalia mama yangu, and my mom, for real, she has never talked about even menstruation. Now I'm going to tell her that I am sexually active.
So they'll rather open up to you as a young person who've been part of them having this conversation rather than You get? So they'll tend to trust where you refer them. So if I refer a young person to Lillian, the expectation on Lillian are so high that the standards Lillian itabidi ameweka hapa. Lazima utapea the best service. Never
usipo atakuja kuambia Nelson wewe mwenye ulinirifer hapana.
Na hiyo ndio information anapeleka to other young people huko chini about your service.
Because when you help one, let me tell you, the flow, the flow will be coming. Like there's this issue. Oh, you know where nilisaidiwa? Ni Lillian.
Actually itafika mahali Lillian sasa atafute nickname atajiita so that now anaweza interact with fellow young people.
Like a young. Yes.
Kuna jina tu tutafuta yake
yake tu
unapewa
Tuke tumepewa
nickname yako.
But it be a movement. A movement that they know. Ishida ikikuwa mahali ni mahali fulani. And that is how even in the estates they are being lowered to the quacks. So the first 2-3 days yes umesaidika kutoa mimba. You get? The person is still there. Utarifa mwenye utasikia anahitaji hiyo service. You get? That person atahama because most of them,
because I'm sure nikipata mimba nitaambia kama ni Lillian you're my close friend. I will tell you. So Amboi akipata mimba utakuwa like unaweza kosa kusema ni Miriam aliendea abortion services but utamwambia kuna mahali nilisikia kuna mtu aliniambia alifanya pale na pale na ilikuwa safe. Pia yeye akisikia and honestly that is how we've been able to do referrals for abortion because a friend will tell a friend and even having discussions with young people very freely. I am not going to judge you for having multiple sexual partners. What I'm going to tell you is to give you correct information. So as you're having these sexual partners, then please ensure you have a condom. Ensure you know your status or even their status. And it's good that right now lenacapavir is coming, a 2-year injection to prevent you from HIV. You know, so if now I get information of best pinapeana your services lenacapavir, I am referring you to that because I think it is just best when young people hold conversations themselves.
True.
Because I have walked the same shoes. Maybe I might not be walking in the same shoe, but I can be able to understand how things go. Because for an older person, anaweza kwa jana my KCM AYP alternate was telling me, he talked about condom and then sister kakuja kamwambia whatever you're doing is wrong. Hizo vitu zote baka nikamwambia whatever decision you decide to do on your sexual orientation. I know you chose your comfortable sin and you decided to judge others for sinning differently. We might not know what you're doing in secret or even in the open because unaweza tukana mtu but you're okay with kutusi mtu. But sababu you're not having sex because you're a sister, it does not mean you're holier than thou. And because young people have this, someone has felt like I cannot contain my sexual urge or even you just need pleasure, then let me give you the correct information to protect yourself. Ideally, I usually say it is easier to speak to a young person who's sexually active and HIV negative. And like a young person who's sexually active, HIV positive, and they don't even know their status or they are not adhering well to their medication. Because it means kuna Nelson, kuna Juma, kuna nani mwingine, kuna Otieno, kuna Maina mwenye nalala na ye. So these are 4 people. Nelson probably has other 2 females. And the females have others. So you see how the cycle goes. But if I'm able to talk to Nelson about condom, Nelson can be able to go to the 2 ladies awambie mimi atufanyi bila sex, bila condom. Or even to test status zako ama tupie twende tukajue our STI status because STI is also rampant in our country right now. So it is easier when you give mimi nikipea a young person information even if you're doing self pleasure you can be able to come and tell me probably if you need roses, I can be able to tell you then there's this and this you need to do. But if nimeenda kwa mtu mwenye maybe hata si mzazi wangu ama maybe tu ni mzazi, hey, unajua for a parent anaona mimi I'm going to protect my child, but what does protection really mean? Protection might be even exposing your child to other issues. Protection means they will procure an unsafe abortion because yeye hataki kukuambia, because now mimi I'm trying to protect my own ego and protecting my reputation. So for that child it means almost death. It means almost getting to take their ARVs. And of course ARVs is a lifetime thing. Not to say it's a bad thing, but at least you can be able to be sure you can live a healthy life and a very long life. Yeah,
so in a nutshell, you should be able to provide safe spaces for mental health young people and all other services.
And that begs the question, where can a young person get correct
information?
Where?
Okay, here on Hideout Podcast.
I wanted
here on Hideout Podcast. Here on Hideout Podcast and other platforms as well, because
we are using ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
There's a time nilikuwa kwa gari and then naona mtu amepea ChatGPT history ya relationship yake. Wamboy is treating me like this and this and this. Lilian, he was a guy. Lilian iko hivi na alafu ameuliza ChatGPT, who's my girlfriend? So ChatGPT namwambia Wamboy is your girlfriend because blah blah blah.
Now mwingine reason ni hivi.
Our therapist. Free therapy. Yes.
But you know, that also bring kind of disparity. Because not all young people will have access to
or to the internet as well.
Leave alone access to ChatGPT. Not everyone would know. I have to write this for ChatGPT to know what it will tell me.
Or the prompts.
Yes, the prompt. Wow. What would the prompt look like for ChatGPT to give me a correct information? ChatGPT will give you everything.
It will.
Everything. Based on what you provide or what you ask. Do you atakupea. So if you don't know how would I package this information for ChatGPT to do the research and bring me what I want, the correct and information that I can rely on and help me in real life, then it still brings the disparities. And not everyone will access ChatGPT also. Okay. So a lot of these conversations will go back to the health facilities. The level 2, level 3.
Have you ever walked to a level 2 to seek information on reproductive health?
I'd say
now talk as a young person, not as a programmer.
As a young person.
I'm one person who I think have gone through all the levels of healthcare. Right from the primary health, ile kuongea tu CHVs, kuongea tu na CHV, kuenda dispensary, kuenda health center, kuenda which level, hadi KNH. I've walked all those stages.
Goja, because you needed reproductive health information.
Yes. Not ideally, but I think when I began cycling, I was still young. So she just took me to I think the CHV kitambo, I don't know how they were called. The
CHV. Ilikuwa tu CHV. Saindo CHP.
Yes. So then they said no, take him to a chemist. So she took me to a chemist.
When you were younger?
Yes. I think that was around 205, 206 there. So from the dispensary, they were not, like, they had no clue on what was happening. So they say, the person running the chemist also was in the facility running the dispensary.
Has that changed now?
I hope it
has changed. So akasema mfike osi clinician atakuja this day. So we went there, they do the test. They're saying, oh no, sasa you need to go to health center. So we went to health center. They do the testing, HIV, TB, blah blah blah. And then they're saying, now we found you are positive and you have TB, so we are putting you on medication. However, for your condition, because I had the swellings of the lower body, so they are saying, go to this, there was a special clinic by MSF. So they say, go to this facility, they'll do biopsies and understand what the problem could be. That brings the first issue. You know, as a young person, let me say at that point, what took me to hospital was the swelling.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
It was not like any other
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
You get? So why not for the swelling?
You'll never-
Singejua had TB at that point. You get? And then these people managed to support in initiating me on care, and also referred me, but now to a private institution. I went and had the biopsies. Then I'm told, hey, you have KS, so you have to be on chemo. In that process, you still have to go back to the facility for your medication and all that. So that really tells you, when we have facilities close to the communities, a lot of these things can get to the communities so easily, such that it doesn't take long for a person to get service. It doesn't take long for a young person to get to where they can be tested, even when they present totally a different issue. Umeenda na malaria, but they can test, or maybe I just do their assessment. Now ajue maybe you are at risk. Can they? Yes, they do the risk assessment. Now ajue you could probably be tested for this, and for this. If those systems are not working, you get? If those systems are not working, I'm usually saying, why not that MSF was there? Sai singekuwa. You get? Sai singekuwa.
Na unajua hiyo ni partner.
Up to you get? It's a donor funded program.
Yes.
Why it's not there? Sai singekuwa naongea hapa nikisema all this. You get? And also it took the intervention of this chemist person. Kugana the courage, I'm not giving you any medication, wacha uende kwa clinician anakuja this day. So we also have a lot of opportunities with the chemists. In as much as some of them might be acting as the quacks and blah blah blah, but it's a very big opportunities.
The public-private mix.
Yes, they really, because they are in the community. Mtu atamka saa 5 usiku najue nitafika pale nipate. So that is a very big opportunity that either the partners or the government can really tap into to ensure this information gets to the communities. Because mimi saa 5 usiku sitaenda facility, nitapata imefungwa.
Utaenda kwa chemist.
Utapata dispensary iko open ama health center. You get? It may be a level 5 or a level 4 uko, you will find them open. But a dispensary near you, probably not. Where would you run to?
The chemist.
So if we also tap into that opportunity, it brings that leeway to bridge the gap between information and service. But if we leave them, let everyone do their business, then it leaves the part of nipe pesa, nikupe the service you want. Regardless of how that will impact your life, that is up to you. My business is to get your money.
That is
and your business is to get the drug or to get the service.
I think for that, maybe if we look at the component on contraceptive, I understand someone is on business and that is profit making. But if it is my first time to access a family planning commodity, please refer me first to the facility. And then now I see, is this a contraceptive that imekubaliana na mwili yangu, si ndio? And then now ikikubali, then nikitoa, nikitaka kutoa nitakuja kwako ndo unieke. Si ndio? Na ikinikataa niende hospitali kwanza niangaliwe until time yenye itanikubali. So that now we can continue with you. Instead of it being my first time, I am coming to you, you're not doing any assessment. Because you're just doing business. So utanipea tu sababu tuliongea na Wamboya kaniambia anatumia Jadel. I mean menda nataka Jadel.
Yeah.
You know? So wewe hutataka kujua kama it's my first time. You will not even question like not unless you clearly have information on what is happening, then it is easier. And even when you're going to the healthcare, I think something on self-care is really important.
Yes, true.
Self-care is really important because the moment you go to a facility, even if you have any problem, and you question each and every bit because it's your health, wewe ndio umejipeleka sababu wewe ni mgonjwa. So when you go and ask the healthcare provider, akikwambia unameza dawa sijui ni, unafaa kumuuliza hadi hapa, because now for my mother, my shosh has been unwell for a while. So my mom alikuwa wamepewa dawa Kenyatta and all that. So the next time after a while ndio wako like we need to go back to Kenyatta, but tumtafutie ile dawa yenye tulipewa ndio tumpe
tuanze nayo
ndo sasa. So when they went to the chemist, mamangu alienda na hiyo karatasi akamuonyesha, the guy akamwambia dawa uliandikiwa it's only for 3 months, you are supposed to go back after 3 months. So sikupe hiyo dawa. So imagine if we never started with the healthcare facility. So it would have been continuous. And if maybe I have a chemist na mtoto wetu amemaliza high school, maybe alipata A na tunaona mtu anataka kufanya pharmacy, anataka kufanya kwa pharmacist. Sinitakuweka hapo na nikwambie 1+1. So meaning you don't have information in depth of how if someone presents with this is how you advise this kind of person. So if for example the chemist, the guy was greedy, atungewa irudi for nini Kenyatta. Tungepewa hiyo dawa endelee kuget us and we don't know what would have happened anyway. But what I'm trying to, even for NASCOP right now, what they are doing, they have community pharmacy where, because right now with the integration, si kila mtu anataka kwenda kupanga line kwa outpatient. Sindio? So you have a pharmacy kwenye unaenda, unalipa kama wamesema consultation yao ni 50 bob ama 100 bob ama 200. So pia utawei. Utaenda kupanga line ama utalipa 200. Utaona maybe kama you have that time ama you don't have the money, you will go and queue. But if you have the money, you can go and pay that 200 consultation fee and get your ARVs. And that's it. So I think from what you are saying, the public and the private really, it's really important so that now everyone clearly plays a role in all of this. Because if we burden our healthcare facility, there's no way we will end all of this. A 14-year-old who's pregnant and a 28-year-old who's pregnant, they will be treated differently. So I cannot be able to go and queue there. That is why youth-friendly services, youth-friendly centers are working. These are safe spaces where young people can clearly go. And for me, nitakuja, yes, nitapata Wamboi hana mimba. But Wamboi already has been getting information from that same facility na hata kuwa in a position to judge me. She will be given services to ensure that probably because I didn't know about contraceptive or I didn't even have information on how well to protect myself, that is why I am going through pregnancy and all that. And if maybe I was taken advantage of and I didn't know that I'm supposed to seek healthcare services before 72 hours. So I went after 72 hours after Amboya aliniambia whatever was done to me was wrong. You know, so I am just emphasizing on what Nelson
had mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe just also because I can see that we're also kind of running out of time, but thank you for that. Maybe just what do you think? How can leaders, we as young people, what do we think? How can leaders build trust with us young people, especially those people when they feel like they've kind of been left out with these policies that we have zenye zinafaa to protect sisi kama young people and all that. Like, how do you think, rather, what do you think leaders can do to build trust in terms of, for the young people, those people that have been left out by these policies that we have?
Let me take you back to finance bill.
I like that.
I'm sorry. So, the Gen Z movement, ideally from my understanding also as a Gen Z, the expectation was you as the person in the position of leadership,
Mhm.
who is supposed to govern this country,
Mhm.
govern departments, whichever parastatal,
Mhm.
you are the one who should do the right thing. I have all the trust in you that you can do it. So for me, I think young people really have trust that whoever is at any given position,
They should play
whether
their
it's a
part.
healthcare provider, whether it's within the religious institution, whether it's within the political spheres, the young people give those people the trust that they need. So it's just the other way around. Can you be able to prove that you are trustable? Can you just ensure that these young people will be able to see, I trusted the right person. They trust you today to do the right thing, but you fail them. You get, for example, when we're talking about triple threat, let me give you a question. If today a border rider afanye tu mistake, I know there was one that happened along Forest Road. I don't know whether you remember.
Oh,
Where
the
a
one the lady was.
kinda,
Yes.
you get, what was the government's response?
Do we even
Can you remember the government's response? Do you remember every border rider across the country was crying?
Oh, walikatazwa, they were not supposed to
There were a
kuendesha.
lot of, you need to have this, lazima, for you to be on the road, lazima you have it. I think there was kinda
mbona sikumbuki hiyo story nimejaribu
identity
kukumbuka
or something. So you can't be on the road without some kind of a card or something. There was something of that sort. So if it comes to pregnancy, governments cannot help run that it happen across the country. Is that what you are saying? That every chief in every corner of this country talks about teenage pregnancy? That they can't talk about SGBV?
They can.
So for me, sometimes it goes back to those in position of leadership. You have all the trust. People trust you to do the right thing. Are you able to do the same? Are you able to prove that the trust that is bestowed on you, you are able to carry it, and you are able to do it correctly? And that is what we are not seeing. So it's not that there is no trust. There is. That is why people want to go to the facility to access contraceptives.
Yes.
You get? And it's not just going for the commodity. You know, I usually say it starts with the information. Sometimes you just walk to a healthcare provider because you want the information. But if there's just small thing that prevents you from going to the healthcare provider, you may lose on access to information.
Yes.
Before even going to the commodity. Haujaongelelea commodity kabisa. So if we have people in positions of leadership, positions of power, you are a decision maker. Young people have that trust. They trust you. They don't want to pull you out of that chair. They want to push you out. They want you to do the right thing. Yeah. If it is a policy, implement it. There are resources. And that goes to budget advocacy.
Yes. Even budget advocacy.
How long does it take for the government to ensure that everyone across the country know that the budget making process has begun? Do you remember when Gachagua was to be impeached? Everyone was speaking about where the public participation is going to happen.
Yes.
Right? But now that...
because it came from someone.
Yes. And now, when we're talking about policies, we are talking about teenage pregnancies, we are talking about budget development, it's kicking in. How many people know? Do you know?
No.
You get? Are we seeing where we have the gaps? So we have priorities, we have the resources, we have all it takes to do the right thing, but the will to do the right thing is not there.
Yeah.
How can we find the will?
Okay.
That brings the question, how can we find the will? Because we have what it takes.
Yeah.
Because when we have conversation in public participation forums, I remember there was a time, let me use the example of this week. So Nairobi County is developing the annual development plan.
Yes.
ideally they need to share the notice for public participation so that everyone knows that it's happening.
Yes.
So me as a person, as a programmer, as an implementing partner,
Yes.
I get to know about it on a Friday,
And it's happening on?
on a Monday. It's happening between Monday and Wednesday. Na mimi as someone
Ndo
who is
umepata wewe.
implementing partner, anakuja kujua on a Friday. So tell me, that young person kwa community,
True. Atajua lini?
atajua lini?
hata anaelewa yake.
Yes, let alone hata kuelewa. Ataona atajua aje this thing is ongoing. But there is where they need to share their experiences.
True.
There is where they need to share their recommendations. This is what we feel will work. There is where the issue around allocation starts. These are our priorities. And it takes that short period for people to know. Will we get the right areas to prioritize? We won't.
We won't.
It goes to, you've gone there, you've shared your let me say nimeenda nikaongea, these are the things that are facing young people.
Ulinini Saturday na
I managed to do. So
Kureview.
I walk into the forum and you have to highlight
Yeah.
the key focus areas. So you say this is what we feel will help the county to sort out the challenges that exist. After that talking, what happens?
you go.
Ni hivyo tu,
You
go.
just go home.
Yeah,
You
hoping.
wait to see what comes. You
Pray
rarely
take your
find
reviews.
that the issues you highlighted find their way into the approved documents. So utaenda uonge, if you manage to go, utaenda uonge, useme all you can say. At the end of the day, inabaki hapo.
Ulisha
nile-
sign.
Ama ni ile ya wewe ongea tu, ile
Participant
ya
list
ongea
wamesema public participation
You've
ilifanyika.
attended the public participation.
We had public participation.
and I
Where?
attended and I
And then
signed.
it still goes to say they've approved the budget.
This is what
Money.
our county, our community
I've
wants.
allocated.
Yes.
Whether it's $1 million, whether it's 10 million,
Yeah.
how long does it take for the county to either get resources from on-source revenue or from the national government, so that you ensure the implementation of what has been prioritized kicks in immediately this is approved? Because if a financial year starts by 1st of July, then you won't tell me that you want to start implementation in January.
Oh, true.
What happens between August, between July and
January.
December?
Yeah.
You get. Yet you have on-source revenue. You have grants, and donors are still there to give you money.
They are not
That are-
I think it's an issue of accountability.
We have grants, right? And we have the national government, the share,
Yeah.
the equitable share.
Yeah.
If it comes, at what time should it come? Because now you find the money comes towards the tail end of the financial year. It comes in
The
April,
bureaucracy.
May, June. So what will you
Now
implement?
for now it's burning the
Yes,
money.
it's
Yes,
burning.
sasa hiyo
So
ni mingi.
you'll have to go to Naivasha for 3 weeks.
Yeah. And that
Come
three
and
kind
fly
of
kama umeenda Mombasa
Yeah.
for another 2 weeks and have a very good I don't want to
Nelson,
mention
sasa
the name.
mbona unasema ukweli?
You don't
Why
want to
are you
say
saying the truth?
but still it goes
Eh?
to how we make things work. It goes to well. Because I know, for example, in Nairobi, obviously we are getting money on a daily basis. Also revenue. Lazima county government gets money on a daily basis.
does.
Without 100% relying on national government and donor-funded projects, they can utilize that on source revenue to run at least the key programs that touch on the lives of the populace. But does that
I think
ever happen?
no offense, I feel like the system is just meant to be like that so that they can find a loophole to continue to be in power. Because
True.
if now, let's say for example how young people during the finance bill, we were able to have a deep dive on what exactly is there. And the uproar was so huge. So as a leader, will I want anyone else to come and to face the same bit? No. I will ensure I jeopardize, I crippleize the education system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that now no other person goes through the same thing that I went through at all. So to your question, I think first of all, I don't want to go from up. I will go from down. So when you look at, of course, teenage pregnancy, I will leave HIV and say teenage and SGBV. So with that is mostly the adolescent girls and young women. So one key area that I think is going to work is if nimejua Nelson ndo amepea wasichana wawili mimba. As a man, not as a woman. If I am a man, I am the one to take Nelson to the police. Nimreport as men. Because honestly, Nelson hata akiniangalia ataniangalia mimi ni mwanamke. I am just a woman. I am emotional. I don't even understand what is happening. Another scenario would be I am married to Nelson, for example. I am not in a position to provide for the family financially. So it means I am fully dependent on Nelson. So with that power dynamic, it means Nelson can have a leeway to take advantage of me, even beat me up every day, or even intimate partner violence on that case. So if my neighbor, who's a man, sees what Nelson does to me, the man will tell her, mimi wangu, anaweza kuwa maybe pia mimi ananitegemea, but that is not the way to treat a woman. So that is whatever I'm trying to say is building a movement of male champions. Because when we continue saying that it is honestly the role of women peke yake ku end teenage pregnancy, kidogo we have proven it is not very possible. But not unless we have men who are speaking to their fellow men to stop that. Because there's a woman mwenye alikuwa intoxicated, you saw, and then a person alichukua video ni kama the man alikuwa anataka to take advantage of that girl. It was an Uber or something. Who took that video? Who went and approached the men? It was the men, the fellow men.
The men.
So it is very easy for us to take up that matter. Not to say that women, we cannot play a role. We can play a role. But for a woman, mimi nikuja nikwambia mimi nategemea mzee wangu. Yeye tu ndo tegemeo. Utaanza kuniambia nini? You will understand my issue, by the way. But mwanaume akiambia mwanaume mwenzake atamwambia you need to stand up as like a man. I will point out your issue and tell wewe unakosea. Yes, mimi I'm telling you the right thing that Nelson unakosea. But mwanaume mwenzako akikuonyesha it is possible to live with a woman without beating them up or without taking advantage of their children. Even defilement cases, ni baba yako ndo anakutake advantage. Ni stepdad ndio amerape mtoto. You know. But sasa if Nelson ameonyeshwa like mimi bwanangu achukuliwe na Nelson apelekwe jela. Siwezi protect. I cannot protect Nelson because it is his fellow men wamempeleka jail. And because I want to protect my relationship with Nelson, nitasema si mimi. Nisiblemiwe pia na my in-laws. Mimi ndo nilipeleka mtoto wao jela. In-laws wangu waende wapambane na wanaume wenye walipeleka Nelson jela.
That is also tricky, especially with what happens behind the doors. You'd find that you come and tell me, Nelson, what you're doing to your girl or what you're doing to this woman is not right. The first thing that will kick to my mind, where did you get this issue? Uliona ama ulitoa wapi? You get?
Lakini ukinipiga sinalia, napiga ndani.
Majirani wanasikia.
Na maybe hata your wife atakuambia, nilisikia.
Nilikuwa naomba.
Ama I was given rough nini.
Nilikuwa nalia.
You'll find a way to try as much as you can
To cover
to
up.
protect, like to cover up for this man. Not because you,
as a woman.
yes, as a woman, you'll just say, no, that was not what happened. Yeah, and that is why you'll see even in most of cases in court, it gets a point, the girl say, no, it's me who wanted, it's me who, it's not that's not the case, blah, blah, blah. And you get to a point where the case is being dismissed because the person who is like the kind of the victim or the survivor draws like anajitoa ana withdraw the case, for example, because anajua huku ndo narudi.
So ngoja,
umesema
evidence ya other men haiwezi ku incriminate, like does it really rely on me who is the victim? Like sasa nimesema sijafanyika and other people are witnesses that you're hiding for your man. So does that count?
I think
what,
okay, withdraw.
Who will get to court, for example? If you take me to court, who will sit in court and say and testify and say this is what has been happening?
See, maybe my neighbors, the man.
If you go as
that's
Vincent,
what I'm saying, male champions are really important.
Yes, true.
Yes.
If you go as Vincent, I'll have the anonymity between me and you. I'll have you to contend with. You get? So this also brings the aspect of, in one side, the lady feels like, I can't do it. If I go and testify against this man, ataona ni mimi. So Vincent will also say, as the champ, aseme, I'm going to stand there and testify. And then, in that process, si mimi ni Nelson and you Vincent nakujua. When do na testify against me? I have you.
Tutapatana.
You get? I have you to contend with.
But how unajua, my argument is
this conversation goes back to
I
liked how government responded to that Forest Road event.
Okay.
This conversation goes to across the country. Ensure that a chief or a sub-chief or a village elder in North or in Homa Bay or in Weke, somewhere in Migori, whichever the place, these conversations are running. With the conversation running, even you as a person trying to do it, trying to beat up your woman, you'll feel like the odd one out. You will, definitely. But if no one is speaking against all this, unaisikia tu kwa radio, unaisikia tu maybe ilifanyika somewhere in Homa Bay, you get. But someone in Isiolo ajui hata hiyo ni nini, ajui triple threat ni nini, you get. So they will just do it because it's a normal. No one is speaking against it. But if it's the norm that everyone is speaking triple threat and triple threat and this and this and this, for you as a person, unless you are not in right senses, you will continue doing that. You'll have a second thought before harming someone else, whether it's a woman or not. Because sodomy is also happening.
And I think
you get.
When we say triple threat, hata kama ni kuiweka tumeilamsa pamoja. Not everyone atasoma t-shirt imeandikwa triple threat.
Naelewe. Yeah.
So we need to say hii ni teenage pregnancy tunaongelelea, hii ni GBV, HIV. But ukisema triple, sasa mtu anashangaa
nini?
Of course it creates creep.
Na Google atapata nini? Google triple threat. Ever try googling triple threat. Let's see what's coming.
And as we are also winding up, nimekumbuka now that you have mentioned I had a point. Ilikuwa about your story yako Marian. I think yenye umeuliza now as a woman. Sasa tuseme nikienda ku withdraw. Maybe the statement yenye nilikuwa nimeka imesema nini?
It refers to two main things. An individual highly skilled in three different areas. Like a performer who can sing, dance and dance. Lakini mwenye ako interested kusoma atafika chini. Such as Kenya's triple threat campaign to end HIV infection, gender-based violence, and adolescent pregnancies by 2027.
You have AI overview. No. You are reading AI overview. No.
Si unaona? AI overview. Kama nilikuwa kwa forum somewhere. Angalia na yako.
It's just the same thing. It's exactly.
Kulikuwa na policemen, policewomen walikuwa hapo tu kwa hiyo conversation. And now this policewoman says, alisema now the issue that comes into like when they're dealing with cases of SGBV and GBV, you know, at homes and all that, like a woman anaenda ku report the man. Atenda report the man, maybe they have sexually assaulted, maybe they are kid, ama maybe anampiga tu, like, you know, the gender based violence happening at home. So ataenda report, akienda report and then amerudi kwa nyumba. Sasa wamekuja wamechukua huyu mzee, wamempeleka huko, then the mama amerudi sasa kwa nyumba, and then she's now thinking, what
have I done?
Hey, like you are ingeenda hivyo kimeenda, you know. So actually alikuwa anasema now, like what happens, like mostly in Kiambu, because ilikuwa set up from Kiambu. Alikuwa anasema now what happens most of the time, the women withdraw their
they withdraw
their na the mbona mapenzi na akili na the minute withdraw kuna kesi anymore, kwa sababu sio ulienda ku report and then tena withdraw, now hapo hakuna kesi. Haya, now to you, and then we wind up this conversation.
Okay, now because trust trust is earned, our policy makers should be intentional during the policy making. Was intend kufanya here and then they end up doing a different thing. They should be consistent and also respectful during the policy making.
Thank you so much. And I will also add, they should also be accountable. Like every person should play their role, you know. Because accountability really goes a long way. Our leaders, because we are actually seeing what is happening even in Kenya, in our politics. What is happening? Like everybody is saying, you know, watu walikuwa walipewa kitu, you know. And then somebody is saying that is our own leader, then you're like, sasa ukituambia, sasa what am I supposed to do with that information, mimi kama young person mwenye niko huko home? Like you ni kitu, like you should take it up. You're the leader, like I'm expecting you to act on, you know, on corruption, on all these things that are happening. But anyway, karibu Kenya.
Let me. So they've really disappointed us. They've drawn us back. We are going to fight to have women in leadership positions. We're going to have a very long way to just still earn. Okay, for the fight for women leadership, we have a very long way. A very long way. The way was a little bit shorter with the 7 governors and so many other the women reps and all those positions. But what they've done, actually with the empowerment forums, just reducing such kind of conversation to below the waist, here in, here out. You ask yourself,
watu pads zenye zinaleta rashes, mtu anashinda kuna unashangaa kwani ulipea nani tenda ya
yes.
Na nilikuwa na point ile time ulisema ati ule the leader mwenye alitengeneza sijui barabara hapo kwake, nikakumbuka what happened to our, you know, our neighboring county here. See, the governor went to deliver babies in another country. Alisema ni nini? Kwa sababu I believe in the health, yani hata health, yani our health, how healthcare workers wenye wako huko kwa kazi yake.
Our trust.
Sasa na wewe ndio governor surely wa hiyo county.
But I think it's intentional.
Do they look different? Like when
Let's not go.
Like they're my junior, so I cannot. Do they look different?
But anyway, I think it's
She's
something
special,
intentional and it's systematic that things are kept the way they are.
Yeah.
If I build a school and make it as nice as possible, operational, running really well, what will I campaign with next term?
Oh, kweli.
If today I make a health
but
center,
when does it mean in US there's no politics? Because there are systems that maybe they are working.
But definitely they
have. Tuseme kama Singapore the systems are working. Sindio? Does it mean Singapore na Kenya? Ndio politicians walikuwa wamesema wanatengenezea Kenya kama Singapore. So alituwekea hiyo expectation. So I am going with that expectation. So does it mean there's no campaigns, there's no politics that is happening in a system that is working? Exactly. So there's no way you can be ensuring that the system is not working so that now your child can take up that role in 2027 because God forbid if you die ni kama mnatuwekea ni inheritance
But
issue.
always the kids will come. The slain MP. Namkumbuka. The son is coming regardless of what the father did. The son is what is being fronted. You get? That is what being pushed, like ideally pushed. You have to elect this one. This is the person that has to come. You get? So regardless of whether the father was really doing well or not, that's not a point to consider. We're not considering that. What they are looking at, who aligns with them. That's the first thing. You align with them.
Indeed, you
Are
don't
you
have a
able
way
to absorb what they are doing? Look at, for example, Ministry of Health. I had high expectations with Mwangangi and Oluga in those two
Oluga
key
is
positions.
trying.
Yes, even if you are trying,
Try harder.
but the things you can't. Because now, if you try, for you are in that position, you have to kind of either align or walk away. So what you do, if you accept to stay, then you have to align with what they are doing. You get? For example, now Mwangangi, that's a brilliant mind. But what is happening with Sha? It's wasted. And it's because the system have that way of keeping things bad. The engineering people also to get used to bad things.
You see now what they're doing. You see the question of trust. They used someone we trusted.
Yes.
To entice us.
Yes.
Alafu
Yes.
kumbe.
They used, like for example, Mutahi Kagwe. We really trusted that man. But right now, we don't even see him. Do we?
No, we don't.
So Masi Mwangangi, we knew how good she was, even with communication on COVID. And let me tell you, and so please msichukue maneno yangu serious. If COVID-19 happened right now,
We are done.
if COVID-19
We are
happened,
done. We are done.
I don't know how many people would have died.
Asanteni sana now because kwa sababu ya ya mwisho ya mwisho. Yes, please.
Okay, to our leaders.
This was fun.
To our leaders. Sometimes it's good to do good things.
It is. Not sometimes.
When you drive in a nice highway,
Yes.
either to your home, to a town center, it looks nice. If you go back home even to talk to your people in a very nice school with the teachers, kids are doing well, it looks nice. It's a nice thing. What's preventing us from doing that? I think it's something we can do as leaders, as young people. We can still push our leaders.
It's something
We
we
can
do.
also build influence around doing good things, around accountability, to see shy off around that. Then finally, the power lies with the young people.
That is actually true.
I get what
the
you're
power lies with the
saying.
young people.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I really agree with
We
that.
are going to take that power again.
Yes, please.
Yes.
One word. Ni one ama ni ya mwisho. Ya mwisho Lilian.
Na mimi ya mwisho?
Wewe nakupe kweli wewe. Ya mwisho pia. Yes, Lilian.
Yeah, okay. Policies are good because they define our whatever we do. But unless sorry for that. Okay, and they are good only when they are implemented in the right way.
Yeah. Policies are good only when they are implemented in the right way. Asante sana. That's a good one. Miriam.
Rwanda came and benchmarked our policies and implemented. They're doing way better than us. Can we just implement and become even more way better? Because we have all the brains, we have all the resources. Actually, human resource is all we have. Even the technical resource we do.
Yes.
Can we do the right thing? Let's just do the right thing. It is not for you alone. It is for your generations. Even your generation. So if you're thinking that whatever you're doing does not protect does not even safeguard the generations to come, then probably if you're not doing anything to protect them, so you're losing out on everything. You might not be there to see whatever is happening, but I'm sure your prayer is to ensure that your generation can live a safe and healthy life.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Maybe my parting shot is we are not leaders of tomorrow, we are leaders of today. Sahi hapa penye tuko. So let us be vigilant, let us be accountable as well, because because power lies in the community, with us, the community. Sisi kama young people, the power is with us. So let us take it back, because we need it. Watu ni kama they are not serious. Tumeona hata national security wanatuma messages kwa WhatsApp. Asanteni.